Mike Brown was killed, I've been racially profiled. My fiance has been racially profiled. I have been bribed by a St. Louis County police officer for his freedom, and they let me go. And this was about a month ago. This is nothing out of the norm. It's just finally hit the fan. You know, it's finally hit the fan. People are scared to do anything. You ride around in the car scared. You ride around, you got a broken tail light, you think you're going to jail, not getting a ticket. It's ridiculous. People don't have any trust for this police department, don't have any trust for the law. So that's why it's not being upheld. And you can't blame anybody for being human.
Like driving in the car, you get flagged, pull you over, not even run your name, lay you on the ground, check you, put the dogs all in your car, you know, lock you up, tow your car. I mean, this is how they doing folks.
Man, we dealing with one of the most heavy-handed police forces in the United States, man, whether it's St. Louis City or some of these folks out here in St. Louis County, man. They do us wrong every day, man, and we tired of it. We got places that don't even got 2,000 people in it with a 50-man force. And you know they out here, they heavy-handed. All they want to do is write tickets and beat on folks, man. We ain't going to take it no more.
But it's been this way. You know, Ferguson Police Department has been corrupt. This system has been corrupt. And now it's just on the stage for everyone to see, even internationally.
This happens all the time. We don't want people to think this just don't happen. It happens all the time. Except they ain't never brought no tanks out on the mob. And I've never heard a black man ever say to me, a white racist cop hit his car with a nightstick. Huh? You can kill my children, my mama, my daddy, but don't mess with my car, and they don't. Okay? Now, why you think out of the thousands of black cops in America, you with your camera have never had to go to a scene where there was commotion going because some white person said that black cop shot my husband in the back of the head 40 times? Or black cops more spiritual, better trained? No, they know white folks ain't gonna tolerate it.
I've really been upset with how the media was playing this. Basically, like the citizens were harassing the police somehow and making them react the way that they are, but that's definitely not the case. From day one, the police have been down here with their intimidation tactics with the whole armor and, you know, like M16s waving like they're waving, blowing bubbles, and that's not appropriate.
We sitting on our porch trying to enjoy the rest of our day, clear our minds, and I see tear gas cans being shot over right next to my building. I can't breathe. I got an animal, you know what I mean? It's a baby. It's people with asthma dropping to the ground, running in the house. That's not even a part of the protest.
For 2 goddamn years, and we sick and tired of being sick and tired. No justice, no sleep. No justice, no sleep. No justice, no sleep. No justice.
We've been disproportionately stopped more so than our white counterparts, our Hispanic counterparts. Granted that we are nearly 70% of the population, you know, so tension has been boiling. And we've been, you know, coming to the point to where enough is enough. We've been coming to our breaking point. And the incident with Mike Brown has just exemplified that. And so now we're just really standing up for what we believe in, coming together as a community and deciding to take a stand.
I'm supposed to not acknowledge that race is a component at all. I'm supposed to pretend like this happened and it could happen to anyone, black or white, and perhaps it can. Disproportionately, it does happen to us. Valuing life, and some people are conflating how we value our lives with how the police should value our lives. The problem with that idea is, first of all, you don't have to respect yourself for me to respect you as a human being. I don't have to respect the way you wear your clothes. I don't have to respect the way that you talk. I don't have to respect that you work or don't work for me to respect your right to live. That's a completely bigger issue. It's violent. The idea that last night, for example, the police started to fire tear gas in because they saw someone in the crowd with a gun, and that gun was a sign enough that there was a potential for violence. Well, what is it when you're standing there having a peaceful protest and there are dogs and cops with rifles standing by? That's not a sign of violence. That's not an act of violence. That's not an act that we are instigating. So no, the looting didn't come before the first sign of violence. The first sign of violence was when that man got shot. The second sign of violence was when you came to a peaceful vigil and stood across the street as if you were prepared for a war. Who started the war?
If you try to treat average citizens like criminals, if you militarize and escalate a situation, you're going to get violence. But if you treat people like human beings, if you get out there and let people know that cops and citizens are all part of the greater community, then I think it'll be peaceful. And last night you saw a peaceful situation, not because police were there controlling the situation. It was actually largely self-regulated.
When we were out here Wednesday, 3 armor trucks pulled up and at least 200 men with M16s and riot gear came to us, pointing those guns at us in broad ass daylight. You can ask Maria Chappelle Nidal, she was right there. And we weren't doing anything, pointing these guns at babies. Church ladies, women, and we're coming in peace. So all people are seeing is the rioting. All people are seeing is people reacting. But they don't realize we're reacting. We're not the ones who are actually doing that to these people. They're coming at us, they're shooting with the rubber bullets, they throwing out the tear gas and all of that. At what point do you stop getting smacked and start smacking back?
The other night when the police again escalated the situation, started throwing smoke bombs and tear gas into the crowd, and they moved their line forward, and as the tear gas came out, I got into my vehicle and started to raise the windows and close the vents, because I believe that that's the best place to be. I haven't experienced this a couple nights before. And as that police line moved further, a line and a row of armed officers with riot gear and assault weapons circled my vehicle. One of them took the door, opened it, asked me to come out, took my arm, and arrested me. I asked him what the charge was, and he said because I didn't listen. And so I spent the night in jail along with a bunch of other activists, really. I mean, there might have been some guys out there who were causing trouble and may have deserved to be in that jail, but none of them were in there. The only people that were in jail that night were folks who I would categorize as peacemakers, not troublemakers.
We got stopped. And they said they patrolled the area. And I didn't understand it. I never ran into it. My husband told me to get back in the car because I kept asking, why did you stop us? Well, we're patrolling the area. Okay, what am I going to do? I have my work uniform on. I have 2 babies in the back seat asleep. What am I going to do?
Ever since that day, the police were here in SWAT gear and the armor trucks, and it was just horrible. It was intimidation factors. They were harassing the residents, shooting. I got shot on Monday night in the shoulder with a rubber bullet. I've never been shot with anything before. So, I mean, it was a catastrophe. It's really a crime against humanity what they're doing down here, especially with the police and and all the different municipalities that are down here harassing the poor neighbors and residents while they're just trying to mourn and grieve over an 18-year-old boy being shot and killed.
As far as the relations with the police, they've been out here with tear gas. I know that I've been reading that we've been throwing stuff, and this is a violent, the only violence is the rubber bullets, the pins that they pull in before they throw in the smoke and the flash bombs, the tear gas. That's the violence out here. There is no violence out here.
It's people protecting themselves and their neighborhoods. Nobody wants to be gassed.
That's it. That's all. We stay here. This is our community. So without all the violence that the police are doing, it wouldn't be no violence if the police wouldn't be doing it.
On numerous occasions, the disrespect, the rudeness of Ferguson police. So this is real personal for me. It really is. And I want to show my children that you have to stand for something. If nothing else, stand for your people.
And the point is that there's no trust anymore between the local citizens and the police department, and that's a bad situation for us to be in. The only way people are going to be satisfied in this is if a federal independent investigation is conducted, outside people come in and give justice to the family of that murdered boy.
The 50 out of 53 officers being white and not being from Ferguson, why aren't any of the young brothers in this area even interested in joining the police department? And that was a question, and they told me, they said, well, it's not always that they're not interested. Sometimes they're applying and can't move up. It's frustrating. Or sometimes they're applying and the person who's looking at the application is not interested in hiring. Or sometimes, just sometimes, the experience of driving through Delwood, driving through Ferguson, driving through Beverly Hills, driving through Jennings, and being pulled over and ticketed for illegal or improper lane change because they didn't signal, but they didn't change lanes. So all of these things gives them an inherent distrust of the police officers. And why would you want to join an organization that you don't trust?
There is a gathering, a peaceful protest for the cop that did kill Mike Brown that will be going down here soon. Not here, of course not here, but it's going down soon. And I challenge a few of y'all people to go down there and just see about the police presence there. See if they're there with riot gear. See if they're there with M16s.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Hands up, don't shoot. When do we want it? Now.
And I'm proud of Ferguson. I'm proud of what we've done. I'm proud of St. Louis. I'm proud of our supporters that, you know, they have not been silenced and that they are not afraid to take a stand anymore. You know, when we come together, anything is possible. There is power in numbers. So, you know, everyone just stay out here, you know, continue to support, continue to rally, continue to protest, continue to hold your signs, tweet, Facebook, Instagram, do whatever it is that you feel or that you humanly can possible to support the cause. Thank you.